Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The God of Story, Discovering the Narrative of Scripture Through the Language of Storytelling, by Daniel Schwabauer, forward by Leonard Sweet, narrated by Jim Denison. Publisher's note: in this audio edition, you will hear references to diagrams present in the print and ebook formats of the book. Forward. More than an inkling. The table was not open to everyone, only those with certain inklings. First, you had to be a Christian, an intellectual, and an active writer who lived in the Oxford area in the 1930s and 1940s. Second, you had to believe in the power of story to change the world, in the pivotal role of myth as something that never was, but always is. Third, you had to be enamored of the grandness of children's imaginations as glimmers of dawn. Those were the entrance requirements to meet each week in a home or pub to talk about storylines, myth, and hope. The group informally went by the adopted title, The Inklings. It included academic luminaries such as J.R.R. Tolkien, Charles Williams, C.S. Lewis, J.A.W. Bennett, Lord David Cecil, and Owen Barfield. These intellectuals wanted to move beyond mere philosophical fiddle, however errant and adroit, and theological faddle, however inerrant and pitch-perfect, and enter the Elysium fields of yarn, yore, and yonder. As you will discover in this radiant book, Daniel Schwabauer is an inkling in every way but historical. He teaches us that stories are reality-bending creatures. How do you grow a faith that is abiding, deepening, ripening in love and maturing in truth, nourished by Scripture and sacrament? Truth-telling is storytelling. If you could just say the truth, it wouldn't be truth. Truth is something, or for the Christian, truth is someone. You do more than say. You enact and embody moments of truth. The solution to life's biggest problems, the answer to life's hardest questions, is story. But not just any story, the story of Jesus. To pass on the headline news of good news is to pass on a story. The story of Jesus, racked on a cross, risen, rising, regnant, and returning. This era of cultural climate change is in such desperate need of alternative narratives, as Schwabauer demonstrates. How about giving it the Jesus story? It's a life-giving story that changes everything. On June 10, 1963, President John F. Kennedy gave a speech at American University in Washington, D.C. Kennedy instructed his speechwriter, Ted Sorensen, to draft him a speech that would call for an end to the nuclear arms race and a test ban treaty that would summon a new era. 7 months after the Cuban Missile Crisis, and less than 6 months before he would be assassinated, President Kennedy hoped this speech would change the course of history. Emboldened by Pope John XXIII, who, while dying of cancer, was spending his last breaths behind the scenes bringing Kennedy and Khrushchev together, and writing his papal encyclical Pacem in Terris, Kennedy told his American University audience that all humans share the same story. In the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future. And we are all mortal. As I was being hypnotized while reading The God of Story, I was haunted by the sense that I had been similarly mesmerized before by someone's writing. But where and who? Then it hit me, and a conviction grew in me that Daniel Schwabauer has the makings of being the next Frederick Buechner. This is high praise, since I view Buechner as one of the greatest communicators since Jesus. Both Schwabauer and Buechner have that same inimitable ability to pick up a metaphor, as Jesus did, take it for a walk, and weave from the sacred journey a narrative that heals into holiness.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?